This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights the biggest plays, the impact players, High Desert high schools, from the gridiron to the hard court to the diamond, collegiate playmakers, racing thrills and spills. The best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights. The High Desert Yardbirds roar through the postseason like a team possessed, winning 6 of 8 playoff contests, capped by a 5-2 Pecos League Championship triumph in distant New Mexico. The end result caps a season that began with highest expectations. Anthony Hawkins aboard with a 2-out walk. High Desert's first home field base hit in franchise history off the bat of Callan Marufo. The Yardbirds, a team comprised of talent at the outset equal to all comers. But by 1 month into the season, 1 week into their inaugural homestand, management knew the team needed to be revamped if it is to compete with Tucson and Bakersfield for the Pacific Division title. The 2 leading Yardbirds hitters out of the gate are fallen by injuries. Anthony Hawkins goes down 1 week into the campaign. First baseman Callan Marufo follows on the DL. I shall leave it to your imagination how the Yardbirds would have prospered had Anthony Hawkins and Callan Marufo been healthy all year, or even after the All-Star break forward. In addition to replenishing the offensive firepower, defense at the corners needed upgrades, and 1/2 of the pitcher-catcher battery is about to be recharged. A trio of youngsters from LaGrange College in Georgia are brought in, middle infielder Blaine Swift and third baseman Blake Butcher. Their impact immediate. Undistinguished in early play upon arrival, a pitcher who would emerge an equally integral piece of the championship puzzle, 21-year-old relief pitcher Jonathan Fleckenstein. When Callan Marufo, then Anthony Hawkins, go down again, additional newcomers arrive. Team chemistry is affected. The feathers of some first-half starters are being ruffled, all-star Yardbirds among them. 2 of the 5 starting pitchers go down with what proved to be season-ending injuries. All it takes is for one seemingly small part of a fast-moving express to quit performing, and the wheels are in jeopardy of falling off. The challenges mount for the engineer, in this case newly elevated manager Chance Sharp, 2 years younger than his recently acquired catcher Yuta Okazaki, and 3 other players on the Yardbirds roster. Here and now is a good time to insert emphasis on the reality check that every player and coach on this Pecos League team is, in fact, paying it forward in time, energy, resources, and effort, going through tremendous personal sacrifice to continue pursuit of the dream and persevering. Prime example, Chance Sharp had made a tremendous personal sacrifice at the very outset of the season. He arrives in Adelanto 1 day after he was married.
Speaking of sacrifice, I mean, this whole season took some sacrifice on Chance Sharp. How'd you spend your honeymoon?
Well, we haven't really got there yet. The honeymoon's coming, of course, and I couldn't have done it without her support. She's been great.
Chance Sharp underwent tremendous scrutiny upon being elevated to managerial duties. Yardbirds All-Stars found themselves sitting the bench as newcomers are given their baptism under fire. It had to be seen and learned if newcomers could perform under the pressure of a race to make the playoffs. The leadership and allegiance of veteran players Shane Brown, Josiah Ward, Patrick Jones become epic in proportion. The pieces seem to begin to fall in place. High Desert wins 7 of its last 9 regular season games, and the rest becomes historic. Postseason pitching becomes phenomenal. Starters Cody Colt, Greg Turner, and Jordan Norton rising above regular season expertise.
Go Yardbirds!
Offensive heroes and postseason victories change daily, with leadoff hitter Dominic Zayer, leading hitter Shane Brown, relative newcomer Ronnie Grant and red-bearded Blake Butcher emerging the most consistent. The video highlights you see are all from Video Sports file footage from Yardbirds home games. Every Yardbirds postseason game on the road to win without a single home field advantage. As amazing as it is disappointing to High Desert fans that the playoff deck be stacked so deep in favor of the Train Robbers, Seguras, and Invaders. Shane Brown homers in the championship game as High Desert parlays the error-plagued Roswell Invaders' defensive shortcomings with their own error-free defense and another brilliant performance by the Yardbirds pitching staff. Zach Williams throws the last pitch of the championship season, striking out the side to ice the triumph on a hot and humid New Mexico evening. And suddenly it's over. High Desert Yardbirds' inaugural season, Pecos League champions, and true champions they are, one and all. The legacy of Yardbirds baseball could not have gotten off to a better beginning. High Desert Sports Training's Best of 2017's High Desert Sports Highlights. Yardbirds baseball not only kept professional baseball in the Victor Valley, but brought role models to young ball players who learned from the advice of these professionals.
Like pro ball, college ball, it's really about the work you put in off the field away from everybody else that makes the biggest difference, and just being self-motivated and working hard.
Your timing's got to be faster, your feet have to be faster. Everything's a lot quicker and everybody plays a lot harder.
Honestly, with me as a pitcher between pro ball and high school ball, it's really about self-motivation, keeping yourself motivated.
That dedication and motivation is year-round, and that's where High Desert Sports Training comes in. High Desert Sports Training, the area's only facility providing proven training concepts. The High Desert's only high-performance TreadX 3030 treadmill and hip machine. Indoor batting cages. High Desert Sports Training utilizes muscle memory and speed of contraction, developing a quicker, faster, and stronger athlete.
Your timing's got to be faster, your feet have to be faster. Everything's a lot quicker.
High Desert Sports Training. Call to schedule a free evaluation. High Desert Sports Training. I-15 Auctions. Best of 2017 High Desert Sports Highlights. The biggest plays, the impact players. High Desert High Schools, from the gridiron to the hard court to the diamond. Collegiate playmakers, racing, thrills, and spills. The best of 2017 High Desert Sports Highlights. Daniel Bennett repeats as wheel-to-wheel Pro 500 track champ. Daniel SMISSEN wins Restrictor plate class. Ricky Simpson wins intermediate class. Here are action highlights of the championship finale night of racing. Start of Pro 500 Maine, Daniel Bennett on the pole. White 10 is Brian Scruder. Buck Blair, black 39 behind him. 766, Bobby Taylor. 11, John Wilburn. 77, Randy Oshens. 7, John Aiden. White 99, John Alonzo. 33, Justin Taylor. 88, Daniel Smithson. Restart, Daniel Bennett, Buck Blair, Bobby Taylor, John Aiden, and that is how they will finish. On to the checkered. Daniel Bennett, Buck Blair, last year's runner-up in season points. Bobby Taylor, who finishes third in season point totals this season and is Pro 500 Rookie of the Year. John Aiden, but 7 points behind Daniel Bennett for the 2017 track championship.
Actually went pretty flawless for me. I didn't think it was going to go so smooth, of course, but yeah, it went perfect.
First heat race of the night, intermediates. 5 laps in, Ricky Simpson flips and rolls. The 11-year-old season points leader will be back on the track for the intermediates main. This is that intermediate main. It will be Apple Valley 18-year-old Sky Farrell capturing the checkered in the final intermediates race of the season. Kayla Pollard closes out her Restrictor Plate season with exciting wins in heat races, edging Jalen Estes, 37, in this down-to-the-wire finish. We go to the Restrictor Main. 37, Jalen Estes veers left. 84, Will Brown clips Jalen Estes, gets smacked by the Wild Child, does a half gainer, and lands on all fours. Daniel Smithson, the born on the 4th of July, 60-year-old, had clinched the track championship a couple of races prior.
Things have been a pretty good start to finish.
Yeah, pretty good. In the middle, I had a little bit of a tough time, but all in all, with the whole season I had, I'm pretty proud of myself. I won the championship 2 races ago, and I have to thank my roommate Daniel Bennett and my nephew Stephen Bureau and my sister. They really helped me out a lot with their support this year.
Wild Bill Martin repeats as senior dirt karts champion. This is the championship finals dirt karts juniors main. The track champion is 15-year-old Will Brown, white 84, 104 season points, 20 ahead of runner-up Maxwell Tippett's. I-15 Auctions, sold on supporting High Desert Sports. I-15 Auctions, from estate auctions to high-quality used vehicles at low, low prices. Best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights the biggest plays to impact players. High Desert High Schools, from the gridiron to the hard court to the diamond. Collegiate playmakers, racing thrills and spills. The best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights. Kyle Callahan, Victor Valley College, the first player in Rams baseball history to lead the entire state of California in hitting. The slugging sophomore out of Oak Hills hit an even 557 hits and 114 at-bats, and Callahan hits with power, 13 home runs, 4th highest among California community college hitters. 25 of Kyle Callahan's 57 hits for extra bases. Kyle Callahan attended Riverside City College, straight out of high school, then was out of baseball for 3 years. He credits that time away from the game as enabling him to realize how much he loves baseball and motivating him to return to the game.
You were out of baseball for 3 years. How did that prove advantageous?
Well, it gave me a look on life. I went to Riverside City College and played half the season, didn't do very well, got hurt. So I said goodbye to baseball and started working. And then I looked back at my life and figured I can still play baseball, so why not?
One thing about Kyle that sticks out with me is he's well beyond his years as far as maturity-wise when it comes to baseball. His at-bats are very mature. He plays, to me, he mentally plays like a 30-year-old man, a seasoned veteran. So if he's behind the count a little bit, it doesn't bother him. Some of these young guys get behind the count, they think they're in trouble and the pitcher has the advantage. That's not the case. So a guy like Kyle knows how to slow the game down. Even though it's faster at the college level, much faster than high school, he still has the ability to slow the game down and assess it and have a plan and execute it.
Victor Valley College coach Irvin Bounds has always had teams that are at the top of the conference in hitting. What's the biggest difference between high school baseball and college ball?
The difference is the speed of the game. In high school, it's slow, competitive, but slow. And when you go on the college field, it's a lot faster, a lot better players pitching.
He is also the top run producer in the state, 54 runs driven in, more than any other hitter in the entire Golden State. Returning home to play at the local college had a number of advantages.
It helped me a lot, staying at home with my parents and the support I get from my family, from my dad.
What are your long-term goals? How far do you hope this game of baseball takes you, Kyle?
As far as it will. As long as I have the ability to play, then and someone will give me the shot, I'll play.
His next shot comes from reigning NAIA national champions Lewis and Clark. Kyle Callahan has a full ride to play next as a Warrior at Lewis and Clark State in Lewiston, Idaho. Video Sports Best of 2017 High Desert Sports Highlights, brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville, located just off Bear Valley Road on Ridgecrest Drive. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Down Home Grill. Desert High Transportation's top high desert sports stories of 2017. The Hesperia Scorpions sweep the Bulldogs to win the Mojave River League title. Hesperia's lockdown defense holds Oak Hills scoreless the last 7 minutes of the game, and Levante Ott leads a patient come-from-behind rally as the Scorpions defeat the Bulldogs 45-43 in the decisive battle for first place in the Mojave River League. Hesperia trails 43-33 with 7:06 to play and scores the last 12 points in the low-scoring contest. Levante Ott leads all scorers with 24-14 in the second half. The victory leaves Hesperia unbeaten in league play and still ranked number 1 in CIF Division 3A. Oak Hills jumps out to a 12-point lead at the end of one. It will be 22-10, Bulldogs entering the second quarter. This is where Levante Ott is at his best, breaking down the defense, driving to the paint, scoring off the drive. Hesperia closes within 10, 24-14, second quarter, 2.5 minutes in. Levante Ott, same MO, methodically operating against his defender, the drive to the hoop, and he is fouled. The Bulldogs go into the locker at halftime, leading 32-20. Shamar Whetstone's basket to open the third quarter opens a 14-point Bulldogs lead, 34-20. Michael Ulis hits the offensive board and kicks it out to Yakel Jackson. The junior hits from beyond the arc, and the Bulldogs have their biggest lead of the night, 16 points. It is 38-22. Coach Rodney Clark will be slapped with a technical foul. Oak Hills will score a total of 3 points the rest of the game. The Scorpions' long and uphill battle to battle back. 20, Antonio Singleton. 22, Javante Fry. The 3, and it is 40-29. Levante Ott comes up with the ball on the Bulldogs' inbounds pass, takes it all the way himself. Oak Hills lead no longer double digits. It is 40-31. More of the Levante Ott magnificence with supporting cast. 22, Javante Fry. 4, Ronnie Green. 20, freshman Antonio Singleton. Then Levante Ott off the drive, off the glass. The Bulldogs' lead is 7, 40-33. Neither team scores the remaining 2.5 minutes of quarter number 3. Oak Hills has scored the first field goal every quarter, and the fourth is more of the same. Shamar Whetstone's 3. These will be the last Bulldogs points of the ball game. Levante Ott hits the offensive board again, and the Scorpions are within 8, 43-35. It will be the senior, Darian Bonner, who had scored the first Hesperia points of the night by hitting the offensive boards, following up with another offensive putback. And the Scorpions have whittled the Bulldogs' lead down to 2, 43-41. This Levante Ott free throw makes it a 1-point game, 43-42. Javante Fry with the block, setting up what shall prove to be the game-winning basket. A minute 30 on the clock. Levante Ott sizes up the Bulldogs' defense, drives to the free throw line, pulls up, and hits the jumper that gives Hesperia their first lead of the game, 44-43. The Scorpions' zone defense settling in. 30 seconds on the clock. Hesperia defenders deny a Bulldogs basket after the entry pass underneath. The Bulldogs come out of their own timeout with 15 seconds showing. Levante Ott and Jadon Everett combine to deflect the entry pass. Shamar Whetstone, it comes to Brad Leontis. Under duress, Ott the rebound. Michael Ulis forced to foul, his 5th. The Bulldogs believe Shamar Whetstone is fouled as he takes the last shot. There is no whistle. The Scorpions have held on. The final 45-43. The Hesperia Scorpions sweep the Bulldogs to win the Mojave River League title. Desert High Transportation's Best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights the biggest plays, the impact players, High Desert High Schools, from the gridiron to the hard court to the diamond, collegiate playmakers, racing thrills and spills, the year's top video sports stories, the Best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights. Desert High Transportation brings you this video sports action highlights report. Desert High Transportation provides reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. Desert High Transportation. Call 760-998-1487 to set up your appointment. The Apple Valley Sun Devils scored twice in 16 seconds in the third quarter, en route to a 57-12 ball game victory over Victorville. Keshawn Griffin's kickoff return for a touchdown, followed by Seth Baker's interception and 75-yard return, putting the game well out of reach in the 49th edition of the Battle for the Bell. The Sun Devils score the first 3 times they get their hands on the ball to open the contest. Donovan Ferguson breaks the ice on a 10-yard run. Jeff Widener's 6-yard touchdown pass to tight end Kai Merchant, the Sun Devils' second possession. Donovan Williams' 65-yard run makes it a 3-touchdown lead, 21-0, early in the second quarter. 14 seconds to go before halftime. Jeff Widener lofts the touchdown pass to Keshawn Griffin on the 28-yard scoring play that makes it 28-0 at the intermission. Jeff Widener also has a 17-yard scoring pass to Xander Witt. The final touchdown of the game comes on the 3rd touchdown of the night by Keshawn Griffin. Late game razzle-dazzle on the wide receiver reverse. In the early going, Victorville held down the high-scoring Sun Devils by holding onto the ball, consuming huge chunks of first and second quarter time of possession. But the Sun Devils' Jake Anderson makes this major impact play, blocking the Jackrabbits' punt, picking it up, and running it down to the 6 to set up Apple Valley's second touchdown. The eventual 57-12 win is Apple Valley's 7th consecutive bell game victory. Midway Home Solutions Action Highlights. This video sports online report presented by Midway Home Solutions. Huge selection of scratch and dent air conditioners, refrigerators, freezers at closeout prices. Midway Home Solutions. The Hesperia Scorpions went through the Mojave River League undefeated a second straight season, and the Scorpions placed 3 players first team all-league, but Hesperia is denied Player of the Year honors. Coach Kelvin Tang's trademark tough-as-nails defense is a leading reason the Scorpions are unbeatable in league play, but all-league selections and highest honors often go to individuals with higher scoring averages, not defensive standouts. Levante Ott, who was the reigning Player of the Year, leads Hesperia's contingent after averaging 16 points and 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 3 steals per game. He's joined on the first team by teammates Jaden Everett and Travell Landrum, both juniors. MRL runner-up Oak Hills is represented on the first team by 3 Bulldogs. Sophomore Jaden Shackelford, the league's top scorer, is a repeat selection. Jaden Shackelford averaged 25 points a game. Seniors Michael Ulis and Brad Leontis, first team selections. Burroughs Cole Hayes received Mojave River League Player of the Year honors. The senior 6'7" guard put up 22 points and 9 rebounds a game. Burroughs finished the season in 3rd place in the MRL behind Hesperia and Oak Hills. Serrano's Isaac Bigelow and Sultana's Sonny Amaya round out the first team. Apple Valley's Kyle Lewis represents the Sun Devils in being named to the All-League squad. Burroughs forward Sidney Pollock was named the Mojave River League Player of the Year in girls basketball. Pollock helped lead the Burros to a 17-5 overall record, 8-2 in MRL play. 6 local players were named to the All-MRL First Team: Oak Hill's Victoria Suevas, Amber Evans, and Jasmine Burley. Obatie Oko was also named to the All-League squad. Oak Hills won the league title, going a perfect 10-0 in MRL play. Sultana's Melissa Galindo and Brooklyn Scott received first-team honors. Serrano's Michaela Hughes named first-team All-MRL, and Destiny Marin was named to the All-League squad. The Apple Valley Lady Sun Devils have 2 players receive All-League recognition, both juniors, Rebecca Velasquez and 6'1" Penelope Benitaitos. The Desert Sky League champion Adelanto Saints placed 3 players on the All-DSL first team, led by Player of the Year Jordan Campbell. The junior Campbell, 5, averaged 22 points and 5 assists a game for Coach Steve Allen's Saints, who went 10-2 in the Desert Sky League circuit, winning the first league title in school history. Senior Nathan Clark, 3, is the all-time leading scorer in Saints history. The 6'4" senior also averaged 22 points per game, along with 6 rebounds a game. DeAnthony Moore, 10, 6' Saints senior, pulled down 8 rebounds a game and averaged 15 points per game. Rafael Agee of Silverado finished second in balloting for DSL Player of the Year. The 6'7" senior averaged 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 block shots a game for the Hawks. Agee plays next at Cal State Dominguez Hills. Troy Hall, 10, 6' Silverado guard, is a junior. Senior Clarence Davis, 11, Silverado senior point guard and floor general, also first team All-DSL. Victor Valley senior Josh Green represents the Jackrabbits. Green, 22, at 5'11", averaged 14 points a game. Fellow Jackrabbits senior Cameron Pyant, 10, the 6'3" Pyant averaged 12 points a game for the Jackrabbits. 2 Barstow Aztecs underclassmen, 6'1" freshman Christian Taylor and 6'1" sophomore Evander Burns, are first team All-DSL. Taylor averaged 12 points a game. Burns averaged 14. Granite Hills 6'5" junior Andrew Glass represents the Cougars and rounds out the All-Desert Sky League team. Levi Taylor throws 6 touchdown passes, 4 caught by Latavian Staples, and Silverado storms back in the second half to trounce the Grizzlies of Los Osos 63-34. Deonze Nolan returns the second half kickoff 90 yards to give the Hawks their first lead of the ball game after Los Osos led 27-21 at the half. Deonze Nolan's 14-yard touchdown reception gives the home team Hawks a 42-34 lead just past the midway point in the third quarter. Taj Butcher's 34-yard touchdown puts Silverado ahead to stay 35-34, a minute and a half after Deonze Nolan's kickoff return opened second half scoring. Taj Butcher had scored Silverado's first touchdown of the game on a 50-yard run. The player the Grizzlies could not contain, though, is Latavian Staples, whose touchdown passes come on plays from 12 yards, 14 yards, 47 yards, and 55 yards. Levi Taylor's 6 scoring passes on the night give him 26 TD passes in 6 games. Part and parcel of the Hawks' second-half turnaround, subduing the Los Osos running attack. The Grizzlies sustained one long drive after another the first half. Takil Agbana and Tino Mau entered the game the team's 2 leading tacklers on the season, averaging 6 tackles a game apiece. Both are juniors. The nightcap in the scoring column comes on the 14-yard touchdown pass to sophomore wide receiver Devin Gandy. Silverado outscores Los Osos 5-7. The second half. The final score, Hawks 63, Grizzlies 34. Best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights the biggest plays, the impact players, High Desert high schools, from the gridiron to the hard court to the diamond, collegiate playmakers, racing thrills and spills. The best of 2017 High Desert Sports highlights. This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.